Top stories: sentencing for Johan Gotze to be heard tomorrow, and those still missing after India's floods presumed dead. Good afternoon. Sentencing for Johan Gotze and his accomplices will be heard at the Gauteng North High Court tomorrow. Gotze and Andries Sithole have been found guilty of murder. All four, including Peter Mohlane and Safm3pm, have been found guilty of rape, kidnapping and assault with intent to do grievous bodily harm. Judge Bert Bum found that they all had the same intent and they were co-perpetrators regarding the rape. He found the men acted with common purpose. The defense is expected to seek leave to appeal. An emotional Ina Burnett says she's satisfied with the judgment. The South African Communist Party in Limpopo is the latest to welcome Castle Matale's resignation as Premier. The party's provincial secretary, Gilbert Kganyago, says the focus will now be on service delivery and to fight corruption.
The South African Communist Party would like to salute the relentless efforts by the Tripartite Alliance and the Mass Democratic Movement, as well as the people of the province at large, in putting pressure against the public office bearers who do not prioritize Batupili and good governance, thus allowing the state resources to be wasted and abused through corruption and maladministration. And we are looking forward to a better Limpopo province under the new progressive leadership.
A report released by the Institute of Race Relations says the National Development Plan, or the NDP, which aims to eliminate poverty and reduce inequality by 2030, is fatally flawed and will fail to achieve its economic and social aims. The report states that the NDP's proposals appear to be a wish list and not serious policy recommendations. The Institute's Chris Grenier.
The Institute released a very detailed analysis of the National Development Plan this morning. It identified two serious problems in the plan. Firstly, that it is fundamentally contradicted in terms of both its ideology and its economics. And secondly, that the plan is not the great reformist document that it's billed to be, but in many respects seeks to tinker with existing failed policy and yet hopes for fundamentally different social and economic outcomes. And that we do not believe is realistic.
More than 1,000 workers at the Matla power station in Griel, near Woodbank in Mpumalanga, have embarked on an unprotected strike. The workers are members of NUM and Solidarity. They are demanding salary increases of up to 18%. That's 3 times the inflation rate. Eskom is offering 5.6%. The NUM's Zanele Zwane says the workers are also demanding a housing allowance increase.
Eskom and our organizations are busy negotiating now when we have not received any information from Megawatt Park that they've increased anything, so we're still waiting. They said they are 5.6%, they are not going anywhere. So we want them to feel the pain that we are feeling as workers. They must increase the money, otherwise there will be no electricity. Eskom cannot fire 1,200 people because now as we speak, even contractors are outside. Nobody's inside the station.
Waste management company Pick It Up says it has managed to collect 90% of waste across Johannesburg despite a go-slow. The entity says Randburg, Avalon and Ivory Park, as well as some parts of Midrand, are the only remaining areas affected. The industrial action is entering its 3rd week, with workers demanding transport from the depots to work. Pick It Up has since issued suspension letters to 1,600 employees. The workers will face disciplinary hearings this week. Pick It Up's Desiree Ntingila.
We've managed to cover about 90% of what was outstanding, and the only areas that are outstanding now is Avalon and Ivory Park, which just need to be cleared, and a few areas in Randburg. So there is improvement, and most of our depots are now fully operational.
Finally, further afield, the government in the northern Indian state of Uttarakhand has announced that more than 5,700 people who are still missing after last month's devastating floods will now be presumed dead. Their families will be given financial compensation. This would bring the death toll to 6,300. The BBC's Yogita Limaye.
For the people who've lost their lives, their next of kin are going to get roughly $8,500 for each person. There are several villages around Kedarnath, which were completely dependent on this town to earn a living. Now that the temple town is going to be closed for at least a year, they are worried about, how they're going to survive the next year. So the government is also trying to provide relief for them. The central government has announced $160 million package for the region, but they're also going to ask bodies like the World Bank and the Asian Development Bank for help.
Recapping the top story, sentencing for Johan Gotze and his accomplices will be heard at the Gauteng North High Court tomorrow.